Our story begins at the end of everything, Armageddon, which was, of course, a Mortal Kombat game that ended up pretty much wiping out everyone and a battle in the universe. And with this, Mortal Kombat 9 picks up right at the very end of Armageddon with Raiden and Shao Kahn having a final conflict before Armageddon. And of course, Raiden not exactly in the best of shape, and in return falls at the hands of Shao Kahn. But before he do so, he of course send a method back in time to himself back at the very beginning of the whole series of Mortal Kombat. And as Raiden get that method, his medallions end up being cracked, which was the same medallion that his self from the future sent the method through. The story itself pretty much picked up right at the very beginning with the start of Mortal Kombat. And we starts off with Johnny Cage as he is pretty much running him out like he normally would at that point in time, as he get in a fight with a reptile and a blocker as well, as he finds out that the tournament might not be what he thinks it is, since the leader of this island and the best soldier for Shao Kahn, Shang Tsung, pretty much tells him to kill off his opponent, and he denies it.
Mr. Cage, now, finish him!
Finish him? Yeah, right.
Kill him!
Whoa, wait a second. I'm not gonna kill anyone.
And very quickly, we get a plot dump from Raiden explaining the whole Mortal Kombat and how the human realm only have one more Mortal Kombat to go, and if they lose this time, pretty much Shao Kahn will take them universe and become the leader of everything. So, in the haste of Johnny Cage not really caring, still not believing any of this is really life or death by any means, he runs after Sonya Blade, who he was hitting on in the very beginning, and very quickly realized that he gonna get in a little conflict with her, as she is not tolerating his crap anymore, since Sonya Blade at that point is trying to find her partner Jax, who had went missing, and on top of that, of course finding Kano, who is the leader of the Black Dragon clan, who Or and Jack have been trying to hunt down for a while now, since he is a armed dealer and they are military. And then we quickly change over to Sonya Blade. Sonya Blade, of course, finds her partner locked up in a jail cell by Shang Tsung, but as she becomes any more angry, she in return almost challenges him to a fight, which Raiden ends up popping in and pretty much stopping right then and there, and help her get Jax out of prison. And as Sonya Blade and Jax are trying to escape since he is injured, sadly they realize there is no real way off this island, since Shang Tsung shoot down the only escape helicopter who was showing up to get them out, and Raiden shows up and let everybody know like he is now having visions, and he think that everyone pretty much needs to stick together and let the tournament play out as is, since he's not for sure how exactly to deal with time travel at that point. And we very quickly jump to the next day, where we find out that Kung Lao have actually been hiding among the soldiers or bodyguards, I guess we could say, on the island with the tournament. And in return, he is very, very bitter about how his clan of Shaolin Monk ended up picking Liu Kang to be the one to enter the tournament that time around for Alt Round. And he very quickly become very spiteful and decide to pick a fight with Scorpion, who is of course trying to find Sub-Zero. But Kung Lao want to prove that he is equal, if not better, than Liu Kang, and he should be the one who would defend Alt Realm. Kung Lao is very quickly defeated by Scorpion, and this is when we start seeing Raiden actually start trying to change the past, by letting Scorpion know, hey, you might not want to kill Sub-Zero, since something bad will probably happen if you do so. But of course, Scorpion pretty much followed along with Raiden, agreeing that he won't kill him, since Raiden promised to actually return his clan back to life. But as Sub-Zero shows up, the rivalry truly kicks off, and for a moment it looked like Scorpion actually gonna go right along with what Raiden said and not actually seek full-on revenge upon Sub-Zero and his clan. But as Scorpion is pretty much ready to just call it quits, Quan Chi ends up showing up and ruining everything by showing a vision of course, Sub-Zero and his clan wiping out everyone that is tied to Scorpion, and in return, Scorpion just pretty much straight up kills Sub-Zero as is, so nothing of the timeline have actually changed quite yet. But as we return back out of NetherRealm, back to where Raiden is, we quickly find out that Sub-Zero clan is very quickly going into the Cyber Initiative as we pick up with Sector and Cyrax, and we find out they're not exactly the most keen on the idea of becoming robots, or the leader is pretty much making everyone become a part of the Cyber Initiative. But we very quickly realize not all of the clan is exactly okay with the Cyber Initiative, such as Cyrax, who have started kind of showing that he's not exactly up for becoming an android. And in return, Shang Tsung's side, I think we should probably kill him off, since Shang Tsung actually hired in Lin Kuei to help out in the Mortal Kombat. As Cyrax finds out about the whole plot against him to get him out of the picture by Sector, he very quickly takes out Sector. Inside, he is leaving the Lin Kuei and not being a part of the Cyber Initiative at all. And from Cyrax, we pick up with Liu Kang, who is training out and about while Raiden trying to figure out what do his vision truly mean, and is it any way to stop the deaths of him in the future. But mid-conversation, Katana shows up to try to challenge Liu Kang to a fight and try to knock him out of the tournament right then and there. But Liu Kang made very quick walkable, and as she is begging for her deaths, she ends up telling Liu Kang about Shao Kahn being her father and how she had failed him. Well, Liu Kang end up spelling her from deaths and pretty much tell her pretend like that conflict never happened. As he walked back into the main tournament to continue his fight with Ormac, being created by multiple souls, and a fight with Goro before the main event with Shang Tsung, which he in return take out fairly easy enough. And as Shang Tsung won back to the Emperor with his tail between his legs, the Emperor is not exactly the most happy, since at that point he realized now he's gonna have to wait 500 more years before he can have another Mortal Kombat tournament to try to win or realm over. And right before the Emperor decided to kill off Shang Tsung, he offered an idea on how he could bypass the rules and just straight up take Outrealm, which mainly boiled down to Shang Tsung offering Raiden one final tournament, winner take all, and if Raiden win, the Emperor will stop trying to take Outrealm. If Raiden and his forces lose, Emperor take the dimension. And Raiden not exactly the most happy or agreeing to the terms of event, so Shang Tsung in return kidnapped Katana and only a small force on the Shaolin monks, and from there, Raiden have no option but to take a deal. That way they can go to NetherRealm to rescue Sonya Blade. And from here we pick up with Jax, who is not exactly the most happy about his partner being kidnapped. Arriving in Outworld in a Fury, in return starts a fight with Shao Kahn and Shang Tsung, which, work out pretty quickly for the most part. But Shang Tsung seemed to need to be take care of some other business, so the fight it hold off for a bit. So in the meantime, while waiting for the next conflict to begin, Raiden decided to teleport Jack and Johnny Cage himself, falling up a way to hopefully try to land roughly where Katana is. And after a small little fight throughout the armory of Outworld, they come across Sonya Blade being held captive. A small fight break out, but she is free no problem. Sonya Blade picks up some reading of some technology that is incoming towards them, and the team breaks up to go to figure out who the people are, since no technology should be in Outworld. From here we take a small little detour with Smoke and a new title holder, Sub-Zero, who happened to be the brother of Sub-Zero that Scorpion happened to kill in the last tournament, and they had broke protocol and decided to come to Outworld to figure out who was the person who killed the original Sub-Zero and the brother to the new Sub-Zero. But as they decide to separate to look for some clues on who is behind all of this, Smoke is suddenly attacked by the brand new Lin Kuei Cyber Initiative mechs of Cyrax. After fighting long and hard with Cyrax, he falls to the overwhelming amount of Cyber Initiative ninjas who have showed up to try to capture him, to take him back, to transform him into a cyborg as well. But lucky enough, Raiden and Johnny Cage show up to save the day and help out Smoke from being captured. From there, we switch back to Sub-Zero, who is also in the middle of trying to be captured as well, but Sub-Zero himself was able to fight off the Cyber Initiative ninja. And from here, we pick up with Sub-Zero, who would be an encounter by Sonya Blade and Jack about how he pulled to be dead as he explained his new situation, and about him being the younger brother to the original Sub-Zero. But sadly, in the area they are in happen to be the domain of Ormac, who comes out of the blue from a slumber to whip off Jack's arms and leave him bleeding to death. But from there, Sub-Zero ends up letting Sonya know a way out of Netherrealm to get Jack to safety and hopefully fit his injury. And from there, he learned that Scorpion was the man who killed his brother, and he leaves for the main event area to confront Shang Tsung and the Emperor to try to get them to summon a Scorpion so he can finally get his revenge for his brother's deaths, to just sadly being interrupted once again mid-combat with Scorpion by the Cyber Initiative, who in return take him prisoner and bring him back to the Lin Kuei headquarters, and in return offer their help and loyal support to the Emperor. But on the upside to all this, any of Sub-Zero is gone. Katana is pretty much talked down to by her father, the Emperor, about how she failed him once again, because she was supposed to be keeping the ninjas at bay, since they are not supposed to be here in the fort plate, but thanks to or incompetent, the ninjas have showed up, and in return, cyborgs have showed up as well. Raiden is hoping to talk some sense into her and maybe in return actually get her to turn on her father, the Emperor. So Raiden meet up with Katana, letting her know, and in return tells her she might want to go check out a experimental little area that Shang Tsung have, which will hopefully give her answer and hopefully let her decide what side of the conflict she want to be on. But as she go down there to discover what exactly Raiden talking about, she discover that Shang Tsung is indeed trying to make clones of her to replace her as the princess to the throne of the Netherrealm. And as she fight Shang Tsung and take him in front of her father to let him know, like, hey, he doing this is some evil plan that he is doing, she finds out very quickly that Shang Tsung will actually order to do this. That way he can replace her and not have to deal with her at all. So in return, he captured Katana and sent her to the dungeons. And from here we pick up with Jay, who finds out about Katana being held captive. And as she is Katana caretaker before the Emperor came and invaded her dimension, she decides she's gonna go and try to break Katana out the best way she can by fighting her way all the way to the top hill. But sadly, she get pretty outnumbered, and Katana tells her to run away and go try to find Raiden to get support heal, which she ends up doing, and Raiden is once again willing to help heal, as other fighters will fight in the tournament while Liu Kang and Kung Lao try them bet to go and save Katana. At Kung Lao and Liu Kang on the way to try to save Katana, they quickly realize that she actually been moved to the main Coliseum where the main event is happening for most of the fighting in the tournament, as they fight their way through a couple foes to make their way to the area. Liu Kang and Kung Lao ends up splitting up, with Liu Kang going to try to pull down Katana and Kung Lao to fight the random soldiers that the Emperor is throwing at him. As the fight continues onwards, he beat his way through a few people, and then suddenly, out of the blue, in the middle of a celebration of winning a handful of fight, the Emperor suddenly just snapped his neck on the spot, killing Kung Lao and sending Liu Kang into a fury, which in return ended with him supposedly killing the Emperor, or at least the Orc Realm believe they do. And as they return back home, the Emperor brought back with the power of the sorcerer Quan Chi, who have a brand new plan on how they can bypass the laws of Mortal Kombat by simply bringing Sadale back to life with your Katana original model and the original Queen of Adania. And by bringing her back alive, breaking a deal that she made with the gods to protect Orc Realm from invasion. And so, with her back alive, the barrier had been broken and the Emperor invades. With the invasion underway, we pick up with two brand new characters, Cabal and Drago, as they are overlooking the invasion that is happening in front of them, and very quickly get involved fighting with Reptile, and then right along on the street with Melina and Kentaro. But sadly, in the conflict with Kentaro, Spitfire and set Cabal ablaze. And in the middle of Draco trying his best to get help for his buddy, Ormac shows up and separates the two. And by the time that Draco get back to where his friend Cabal was, he finds nothing but burning surface. With the help and the recruitment from Nightwolf to join the team with Raiden to help defend the realm of Orcs. And as we pick up with Cabal now, who is severely burnt, he suddenly wake up with Kano standing over him, putting together pieces into him to keep him alive. And as we find out that Shang Tsung had pretty much healed him of most of his wounds, but sadly his lungs is not one of them. So by keeping him alive, he now forever have to have a mask on to continue breathing. As he conversates with Kano, we ends up finding out that Kano have indeed been giving weapons and equipment to the Emperor soldier to help them in the invasion, and also that Cabal was once a part of the Black Dragon clan, but no longer since he went out to become a cop, and now he is really not a cop anymore since he's more machine than man as well. But as he comes to terms with everything happening around him, and after a very quick plot dump thanks to Kano, he pretty much made the break for the portal on the way out to try to get out of Outworld, since Kano brought him there to get back to Striker and let them know he alive and what is happening. And as he is trying to escape, and from there he runs into Sub-Zero, who now have been made into a cyborg thanks to the cyborg initiates. And after defeating Sub-Zero, Raiden shows up to join the side of the warriors who are trying to protect the human realm. And in return, Cabal signs right on up since his buddy Striker is already there. And Smoke shows up with Raiden as well to bring Sub-Zero back to the bait to see if Jack can actually get his memory back from being reprogrammed once the initiative of the cyborgness was initiated. And he does. And very quickly come up with a plan of using him as a spy to hopefully find out what Shao Kahn is doing and how to hopefully stop him. But like every plan in this, it quickly kind of falls apart as Sector realized that he had been messed with and had been reprogrammed. Once Sub-Zero takes care of Sector, he ends up finding out that Kanchi and new Cybot is planning to sacrifice some soul to cast a spell in the middle of a graveyard inside of the city. But as he get there, he get in a conflict with new Cybot, Chi, continuing summoning his spell, but he realized that new Cybot have actually been reincarnated and brought back by Quan Chi and fused into a new being of Noob Cybot. And a small brotherly fight breaks out with Sub-Zero realizing that he is no longer himself and nil a new Cybot. So in return, the blood tie ended a long time before the conflict. By the time the fight with Sub-Zero and new Cybot ends, it seemed like Quan Chi spell finally completes itself as it thought trying to suck in the soul of every human being in the human realm. But lucky enough, Nightwolf shows up, get him out of there, and confront Quan Chi. And once Quan Chi was defeated, new Cybot rise once again to fight a Nightwolf, which he easily get rid of by shoving him into the portal that Quan Chi had using to suck in soul, and in return made the whole spell collapse underneath itself. And with that, Quan Chi runs away back to the Netherworld, while Nightwood returns back to all his friends to inform them of what is happening. And with the discussion of what to do next, Raiden decides with Liu Kang next to him to go talk to the Elder Gods to find out why they are not stepping in and helping the humans. And as he away talking with the Elder Gods, sadly everyone else is surrounded by the cyber initiates who have showed up to try to kill all of our characters. But our main cast of characters ends up fighting them off and defeating every single one of them. Till Sindel shows up and very quickly make work of our main heroes here and killing our multiples in quick succession. And we cut back to Raiden discussing with the Elder Gods of what is happening, and he finds out that technically what Shao Kahn is doing is not exactly breaking the rules of Mortal Kombat and totally is allowed, and they are not gonna get involved in the conflict at all. And with that leave Raiden and everyone that is left alive to figure out what to do next. And right when Raiden and Liu Kang returns back, they quickly realize most of their friends are dead, and Nightwolf is in the process of casting a spell to destroy Sindel once and for all, but by doing so, also kill himself in the process. And as Liu Kang is seeing to the few survivors that are left, Raiden realized that maybe the shot is for him to go and try to talk to Quan Chi and hopefully make a deal with him. That way Quan Chi Dimension will be able to fuse with the human realm, and hopefully with them forces combined, they could take out Shao Kahn, and hoping Quan Chi ends up going against his master of the Emperor. But of course Liu Kang will not have any of this and tell Raiden that his visions are nothing but a visions of Madman, and how he have lost contact with reality, and how he is free to just do whatever he wants. Liu Kang have more important thing to do, mainly trying to keep what friends he have left alive. And with that, we cut to Raiden, who have teleported to the Netherrealm to try to make contact with Quan Chi. And standing in front of Raiden as he have entered the Netherworld is Scorpion, which Raiden have to deal with since Scorpion will not actually bring out his master Quan Chi. But after Raiden deal with him, Quan Chi shows up to see what Raiden wants, and Raiden begs to him to help. And Quan Chi is not really having any of this, since as he put it, the human race is pretty much dead. They'd be lucky to live a few more hours. But Raiden assists. If he help them, he will give the souls of all the fighter, all the human race, and of course his own soul, which Quan Chi stepped down very quickly and put a stop to, since he showed Raiden he happened to already have all the souls of everyone who have already died. And with that, he tells Raiden to leave, and if not, he will have to try to kill him. And of course, Raiden ends up fleeing after fighting off a few of his friends' souls to return back to the human realm, where he had found a portal with the Emperor slowly stepping through. At that moment, he will like to let Shao Kahn merge the two realms together. And when that happens, it will be breaking the law of merger, since the law that was broken of invasion is fine, but merging the realms, not so much. And he hoped that the gods will step in and put a stop to it. But Liu Kang and Neptune realizing that what he is hoping for probably not gonna work and waited it off his rocker. So Liu Kang start trying to fight the Emperor as he coming out of the portal, but in return waiting and not having it, and they get into a small fight that ends up ending with Raiden killing his friend Liu Kang and leaving him alone with Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage to fight the Emperor, with the Emperor make quick work of Johnny Cage and Sonya, and with that waited and left alone to fight him. And in a moment of doubt of begging the god to help him, the gods appeal and grant him enough strength to fight the Emperor one last time. And once Raiden can get the Emperor weaken up, the gods can once and for all wipe him out and bring peace back to the human realm, which in turn does indeed happen, with the cost of so many loved ones, since the only people left alive of our heroes at that point is Raiden, Sonya Blade, and Johnny Cage. And with them leaving to help out rebuilding the human realm and deal with the fallen ally, Quan Chi shows up and start talking to his real master, which is Shinnok, the Elder God, as they discuss how all that went exactly as planned, and how now Shinnok can take over the human realm and the narrow realm in one go. And with that, that brings us to the end of Mortal Kombat 9. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you do like, favorite, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel any more so, feel free to join my Patreon page and join the wonderful people that you see on screen right now. And if you're looking for more content or more Mortal Kombat content, feel free to click on any of the videos on the screen.